What if your adopted child never calls you mom or dad?
On today's episode, we are talking about that question specifically and some experiences that we've had in our family in being called or not being called mom and dad.
Let's talk about it. Welcome to Unprofessional Parenting. We're your hosts, Matt and Lainey.
I'm Lainey, a licensed clinical social worker with over a decade of experience working in child welfare.
And I'm Matt, with more than 10 years working in church ministry. And together, we're foster and adoptive parents who know firsthand that parenting is anything but perfect.
We're here to laugh, learn, and share the real side of raising foster and adoptive kids. Parenting isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up even when you feel completely unprofessional at it.
So let's get into today's conversation. All right, well, we are back here. Lainey, today is a very fun day.
We start every episode like that. Yeah. Every day is a fun day for us.
But why? Yes, but this day that we are recording is particularly fun. Why is that?
Okay.
Tell everyone.
It could be a number of things.
Okay. Let's go through it.
Number one, it's cold weather today in Florida.
Heck yes, it's cold weather. Unfortunately, the reason behind the cold weather is not a good one because Hurricane Melissa kind of sucked some of the moisture and brought the low in.
That's not why we have
yes,
cold weather.
Yes, it is. Have you not seen the weather reports of why we have cold weather today?
It's because a cold front came through.
Yeah. What do you think sucked the cold front in to hit us? That's a real thing.
Okay.
So we have some cold weather today. It is, I think the high is 67. This morning I woke up and our house was 68 degrees inside.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's prime optimal sleeping time.
Yes.
But also, what is fun about today?
Okay, something else that's fun about today is that our kids are in school.
Yeah.
So we got to have like coffee by ourselves.
Yeah. I dropped them off this morning and it was just like, we got home, doors open, dogs chewing bones.
We're going like a little shopping later.
Yeah.
More fun things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think today's fun, Matt?
Because today's spooky day.
It is.
It's October 31st, the day that we're recording this. Obviously, this won't go live on the 31st. But today is spooky day. Spooky season has culminated to the climax of this moment.
Yeah.
Spooky season. So our kids...
Or as our friend Sarah likes to say, it is Christmas season Eve.
Christmas season Eve. I love that.
Yeah, she's celebrating Christmas season Eve today.
Do you think she puts up her Christmas decor tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
I have to ask her. But it is spooky season. Our kids are all over the place tonight doing certain things. Our middle daughter has friends going that are going to be getting ready together at somebody else's house in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Our oldest daughter is having some friends over and who knows what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a plan.
You know what's interesting about us going through the fact that all of our kids are doing different Halloween stuff with like their school friends and neighborhood friends. I remember we did an episode a while back about like family traditions post-adoption and how like these types of traditions will tend to shift from birth families to adoptive families as the process goes.
Right.
And man, people were hating on us for like, you make your kids.
How dare you ruin it?
Change their traditions, blah, blah, blah. And I will tell you, our kids are going to have a great time tonight.
They're going to have a blast.
They're going to have a blasty blast. And these are the plans, by the way, that they came up with.
They created, and we're just supporting them in that. Yep. That's really nice. Yeah.
Yep.
And then our son has a blow up dinosaur outfit.
Oh, yeah.
He's just so excited about.
He's in the dinosaur.
He just loves it.
Well, I mean, he's not.
It's not about dinosaurs. It's about the costume itself.
It's the
it being the like inflatable.
Like I'm riding a dinosaur.
Yes. He looks ridiculous, but obviously the more ridiculous he looks, the more
he loves it.
So,
yes.
So that's where we're at. So it should be a fun time tonight. And then you and I probably just watching a scary movie, maybe drinking some decaf coffee.
I don't watch scary movies. I don't know if you know this about me.
I mean, I wouldn't call it like super scary, but like a Halloween movie. Like a Hocus Pocus.
Like a Hocus Pocus. Like,
is that too scary for you?
No, okay. I just don't. I mean, you know this. Like, why are you telling the people I'm watching scary movies? I don't like scary.
You watch them. I'm just saying.
I don't like being scared. I'm not going to a haunted house. I'm not going to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not like I don't like scary things, but I do like spooky, you know, like
cute, spooky, not scary.
The Sanderson sisters, you know, like I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even though they were trying to eat children. I mean, that's a thing.
But it's Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, come on.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
That's not scary.
Anyway, let's get to the meat of today's episode.
Yeah, what are we doing?
In this episode, I kind of wanted to talk through a circumstance that we ran into as adoptive parents this week. That was a tough one for us. It felt like we took a massive L. It hit us in our hearts a little bit hard, and we were struggling with how to redeem the moment and feel, how to move on from it with our kids. And that was the conversation to talk with our kids about allowing them or asking them to refer to us instead of Matt and Lainey to be mom and dad. And that is a transition that I want to talk about because there are some adoptive families out there. There's some foster families out there. So when is appropriate to have that conversation? When is it okay? When should you feel led to have that conversation with your kids? Yeah. And we want to talk about the realness of the outcome of our conversation and what happened with us. So this all started, background story, if you're just popping in for this is your first episode. We've been foster parents for more than 5 years. Our first 2 placements, our daughters came into our home and they did not leave. And so we ended up adopting them. And while that adoption was going through, we welcomed into our home our foster son, and he ended up staying as well. And we adopted him last November.
Yeah.
A year ago. So they've been living in our home for the girls 5+ years, our son 3+ years. And so we have launched into life together. Like, this is new venture, new season, family together. We're growing together. In fact, they call us mom and dad to their friends, and when they refer to us to their friends and to anybody outside, but to us in the home, for the past 5 years, it's always been Matt and Lainey.
Yeah. Well, give some context to this because first of all, the preface I would say to this conversation is that every child is different and every family is different.
Very much so.
So
I don't think there's like a perfect sweet spot, perfect time.
No. Like, this is where just like wisdom and discernment comes in for people. And if you glean advice from this episode, then that's wonderful. But like, if it doesn't make sense for your child and your family, then toss it. Like, don't do it.
For sure.
But the context to the mom and dad situation is when all these kids moved into our home, they were all older than the age of 5.
Yes.
Like, our son was the youngest and he moved in when he was like almost 6.
Right.
So it's not like when they moved in with us, they weren't like confused about who their mom or dad was.
Right. They already had previous relationship and like, known who bio mom.
Yes. They knew who mom was. They knew who dad was. And we were not mom and dad.
Right.
We were their foster parents.
Yeah.
That we all of us thought that this was going to be a temporary situation.
Yeah.
So we even kind of established up front, like, you can call me Lainey. Yeah. You can call me Matt. Like, it's not something that we forced when they came into our home. Like, I'm going to play the role of your mom and dad for whatever season that you're here, but I'm not going to require you to call me dad. Right. That's a really sacred title.
Yeah.
And I do not think it's appropriate to require a child of any age to call you that. Now,
what happens if it happens naturally, though?
Well, yeah. So that's what I was leading into, is like, a lot of younger kids especially will just naturally call you mom and dad. I've even heard stories. This wasn't our instance because we didn't have biological children, but a lot of times I have heard that because the biological children in your home are already calling you mom and dad, it does kind of become a little more natural for foster children to come in and also refer to you as mom or dad.
Yeah.
But we never had that in our home. So we were just always Matt and Lainey.
Yeah.
And that's what worked. Those were our names, and that's what they called us.
And that's fine. And obviously circumstances changed in our home it was no longer a foster relationship. It was a forever relationship. Right. And so we've been going back and forth of like, I have a longing and desire to be called dad. You have a longing and desire to be called mom. This is the role that we play in the lives of our now adopted children.
Right. Now to take it further, like that desire has only come post-adoption.
100%. Yeah.
I did not feel that way when we were fostering them because I wanted to keep that
separate,
boundary there.
Yeah.
That emotional boundary for both of us.
That pretty well. Yeah.
But this has been like a post-adoption feeling.
So again, we're just trying to wrestle with the tension of like wanting that, but also not wanting to interrupt the flow of the lives of our kids and just drop something on them. Or again, that requirement, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Like,
right.
I want our kids to make it like to feel natural in calling us, to see us as mom and dad, and to feel natural in calling us mom and dad.
Right.
Because that's the role that we play now. And that's the relationship that we have now. And I think there's like a deep longing in my heart and in you, of course, to want to be mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like I want that. Like I really badly want that.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out when's the best time to have a conversation about it. And even just like a few months ago, I think
this was like a while back.
Yeah. We gathered our kids together and we gave them permission. It's like, we're not like saying, hey, from now on, I'm going to be called dad. This is mom. Because that takes a lot to get used to too. Right.
Yeah. The conversation was something that we had noticed for a while, that they were referring to us as their mom and dad outside of the home.
Yes.
Like you had mentioned, to friends or at school with teachers or whatever, like they would say like, oh, my mom is picking me up today.
Right.
Or like it was always in the context of, oh, let me talk to my dad about that because blah, blah, blah. So I think we had just kind of noticed they were
using it. They were using the title.
Yeah. They were naturally starting to see us as their mom and dad. Again, not a replacement of birth parents.
Right.
An addition to birth parents.
And that was part of the conversation too. And I want to touch on that. Is like, because our kids, they have that relationship with bio parents or bio parent, and that replacement in their mind is an absolute barrier.
Yes.
Like there is something there, understandably so. I'm not saying that it's a negative thing, but there's a barrier there too, and it's almost in their mind a replacement of like my biological parent, and I don't want that relationship to be erased from my mind because that's my blood. Those are my So you had an intricate, very well-designed way of kind of establishing, we're not replacing your parents,
right?
But we are second mom, second dad, right?
Yeah, which is part of the conversation we had several months ago when the two of us kind of were like, I think that we should just have a conversation with them so that they know that like we are okay with them calling us mom and dad, and that they don't have to worry about our feelings about this if
we
it's
don't
something
feel
they
weird
want to
about
do.
it.
Yeah. So we had like a formalized conversation with all three of them, and we just were like, hey, we see ourselves as mom and dad. We see you as son and daughters. Like this is the relationship that we feel like we've all established together and grown together in.
Yeah.
So you have permission. It was permission. Like you have permission to call us mom and dad if that is like what your desire is.
If you want to. Yeah. If you want to.
And
leaving the ball completely in their court.
Yeah.
Again, no requirement, no strings attached. Just letting you know from our end, we're not scared of you calling us mom and dad.
Right. And so our oldest reaction, she like instantly sighed and she was like, oh, finally.
Yeah. It's almost like she was looking for the opportunity.
It was, we kind of double looked at her like, what do you mean finally?
I've been wanting this for a long time. What do you mean?
Yeah. She literally, she was like, oh, I've been waiting for you to say this.
Yeah.
And I was like dumbfounded, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was
very
her
surprised.
Desire, I guess.
Very surprised.
So that kind of led us into this season that we've been in of like, I feel like that comment kind of gave us some hope.
Yeah, I left that conversation thinking, not expecting, and I want to make that clear, not expecting, but thinking that things might be different in those regards of like, this might be, that permission given might be just the key that was needed to like go on and call mom and
go
dad.
the next step. Right? Because here's the other, like, let me just pivot for a second. The relational bond that comes in calling someone mom and dad is so intimate.
Yeah.
And adoption, I've almost seen adoption as like, you have to access like the next layer of bond.
Yeah, you
like,
get to the next level.
Like there's like
level up.
Yeah, there's like milestones that happen that kind of like take you to the next layer of relational intimacy with your kids and them with you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of always this series of steps where you're trying to get closer and closer to each other.
Yeah.
And there's barriers that pop up with trauma.
Yep.
There's barriers that pop up with just like kind of social awkwardness. You might go back 2 levels.
Yeah. Take a step forward. Yeah.
So this layer of intimacy in mom and dad has just been so locked off for so long.
Yeah. We thought we gained access to it.
I thought that like the gate opened there. Like I was like, ooh, this is it. This is the milestone.
Right. And we're not trying to weasel our way in there either.
No.
Again, it's a thought of like, if you are viewing us and talking about us in these regards outside of this home, how do we not bring that into this home and be okay with this? So fast forward a little bit. All right. Let's go to a couple of weeks ago when we were at the football game.
Yeah. So basically we've spent probably 6 months now, and like they still haven't called us mom and dad. So we're kind of just like, okay, we make little jokes here and there. Like, if
my daughter will text us and be like, text me and be like, is Lainey taking me home, or who's taking me home from school today? And I'll be like, mom is.
Your mom.
Mom is. Yeah.
So we try to reinforce that. That was actually some advice that was given to us by a wiser woman who was like, hey, just start calling each other mom and dad. Yeah. Like instead of calling each other your name, because in any biological household, I'm pretty sure most people are like, hey, go give this to your dad or go ask mom, like that's just natural. Yeah. So we have tried to kind of incorporate that language. But then they never they still aren't doing it. Yeah. Which no one's upset about. Again, I feel like I need to keep prefacing this. Like, we're not upset that this isn't happening.
Yeah. I don't want somebody out there thinking that we're forcing our kids or that like we're angry or frustrated. We're just telling a real story.
We're just talking through the realities of what this looks like for our family. Yeah. So a couple weeks ago at a football game,
this is the best.
It's homecoming game. So of course stadium is packed. And Matt and I are sitting all the way up at the top row. I'm cold and my jacket was in the car. So I'm like yelling down behind the bleachers to our son who's throwing the football. Yeah. I'm like, yo, like, come get my keys and my credit card, and you can buy yourself something from the concession stand if you go get my jacket from the car for me.
So good. Just paying our children to do things for us.
So he comes running up the stadium. He's cutting in front of all these parents. There was one mom in particular who her son. She was locked in. Yeah, her son was definitely on the field during this play that was going on. He was standing in front of her blocking, and she's like trying to move him. She's like, "Sweetheart, get out of the way," So I'm like, "Get out of these people's way," and he starts like yelling my name to get my attention, Lainey. Here's your keys.
Lainey. Here's your credit card. Lainey.
So he's calling me by my name. And it was in that moment, this is purely my insecurity. Like, this is me being selfish.
Let's establish that right now.
I understand.
So people that are listening cannot take this the wrong way.
I know. For some reason, I always think of the haters during these episodes.
It's okay.
This has nothing to do with him. He didn't think twice about it, nor is there anything wrong with him.
Nope.
But my insecurity in that moment goes, I'm surrounded by moms who are watching their sons on the football field. Yeah. And my son is standing in front of them, just like being a kid. And instead of calling me mom, that I think would have made sense, it would have helped those moms empathize of like, oh, he's just
a 10-year-old boy.
He's just a 10-year-old boy, like trying to get his mom's attention to help relax their like stress in that moment of him blocking their view. He called me Lainey in getting my attention. And then I instantly was like,
that sucks.
Do they think I'm the babysitter?
Yeah.
Do they think I'm just like a family friend? Do they think Which I'm sure they didn't. Again, they probably
or how disrespectful is that?
Or how disrespectful is that kid for calling his mom Lainey?
Yeah, by her first name, right?
Which they probably genuinely didn't think any of those thoughts.
There's no way.
But that's where my insecurity is just like, oof.
Well, the whole time that scene was happening, I was sitting next to you. I was like, I was thinking the exact same thing. So it's not just you. I was like,
really?
Yeah, because if it would have been me, he would have been like, Matt.
Right.
And instead of Dad. And like, I do, wish that.
Yeah.
It's a selfish thing, but it's also at the same time, it is
our desire for more intimacy.
Yes.
Truly. It's our desire. Perhaps it's an insecurity. Perhaps it's a selfishness. You can label it whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But I also believe, as the individual who's sitting here feeling these feelings, I believe that it is an outpouring of my desire to have closeness and to have a label recognition of what I work so hard to be for these kids every single day of my life.
Yeah.
Like I have sacrificed so much for them, which I am honored to do.
Yes.
And the human in me is just like,
well, I
wish I could have
let's fast forward from that moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had that conversation a few months ago. We had that interaction a few weeks ago. And then this week, this week is where it all came to a climax. And like, we're having a conversation with our daughter in the kitchen. Yeah. And can you just talk about that conversation? Our oldest daughter.
Yeah.
And by the way, just to set the scene for our family, our oldest daughter is the biggest rule follower, the one who wants to make everybody happy all the time.
Yep.
And my thought personally, if one of our kids were to start calling us mom and dad, she would be the one.
Yeah.
And I think that she has enough influence in our home that if she started calling us mom and dad, I do think the other two would follow along and it would become a natural thing.
And
right?
she also was the one who was like so relieved, like, thank you for giving me permission to call you mom and dad now.
So this is the track that we're on. And we're in the kitchen and we have this interaction.
Yeah. She wanted a pimple patch from my bathroom.
Classic high school girl.
Just like jokingly, we were like, okay, well, what do we get in return for giving you my pimple patches? Yeah. She's like, anything. Literally anything. I'm so desperate for a pimple patch. Anything.
Yeah.
And so in jest, I answered back. I said, all right, just say, thanks, Mom. Mm-hmm. And she, like, the change in her face, this was a very funny interaction we were having, very lighthearted, not serious. But as soon as I said, give me a thanks, Mom, her whole face changed. Her demeanor changed.
Yep.
She probably almost started crying. And she was just very honest and said, I'm very sorry. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
She said, I can do anything but that.
I can do anything but that. She said, I've thought about it. And every time I try, I start crying. I'm sorry. I can't call you mom.
Yeah. And end of conversation. It was like a big old period at the end of the conversation. We're like,
it was like she left.
Well, shoot.
She left to go to the bathroom to get her pimple patch. And I just stood there. I think I just stood there staring at the ground for like, what felt like 10 minutes. And of course our son was standing right there. That's the quietest he's ever been in his entire life.
He knew the seriousness of the moment.
Like I felt him just staring at me.
Yep.
Waiting to see what I would do. And I just sat there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and here is the reason why we have this response. And we're going to talk about all of the feelings that went into it. We're going to talk about all the stuff that goes into that moment. We're going to talk about the way that we analyzed it afterwards and the conversations we've had since then. But the moment after that comment was made, our daughter went into the bathroom, got her stuff, which seemed like an eternity that she was in there
forever. And I almost wonder, like, you knew exactly where the pimple patches were. I think she was also processing some stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
By herself.
And we're waiting for her to exit our room so we can go in and be like, experience the emotion.
Matt, I was literally crying.
I know.
But I didn't want our son to like watch me have a full breakdown right there. So I'm just like, I need to get to my bathroom so I can just cry by myself. Please, please, please. But she's in our bathroom. So I was like, get out of my bathroom so I can cry.
So she leaves the bathroom. We go into our bedroom and immediate tears. Yeah. Right. And the tears are there for a reason. There's a lot that goes into our story that a lot of our people don't know, but we don't have any biological kids.
Right.
And so we're thinking to ourselves in this moment, we've given permission to our children to call us mom and dad. They call us mom and dad to all their friends and everybody outside of our house.
Yeah.
They don't say it to us. We have a deep longing for that. We don't have any biological children. And so maybe in a moment out the window goes any hope that we have of ever being called mom and dad to our face.
Yep.
By our kids. And that was a lot in that moment.
Yeah.
That was an emotional moment. Because I just, again, think that there's a longing and desire deep down in everyone's heart, maybe to have that, right? There's an intimacy in relationship that comes with that term and that title. And it just felt like we missed out. It felt like it just walked out of the house and like never to be talked about again. It's almost like I never want to have that conversation again because I never want to experience that again.
I also never want to push our children to a place where they are just like, don't ever make me go there.
Right. And again, I think the immediate thought was about ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
And we processed through that and talked about it.
But here's the thing, and I want to give permission to foster parents and adoptive parents who feel these same things, because honestly, I spend 99% of my motherhood being as selfless as I can. Like truly. Yeah. The amount of things that I've given up, and I don't say this for like a pat on the back, but it's just reality. Like the amount of peace that we have given up to be foster parents, the amount of like calmness and vacations that we could take together, the friends that we've given up, the social circles we've given up, like the things we've given up and been selfless in to help these children heal is immeasurable. Yeah. And we're not alone. Like the things that foster parents and adoptive parents sacrifice to be able to help children heal and give them a safe space is immeasurable. I am allowed, and you are allowed, and other parents are allowed to just take a moment and feel some feelings. Yeah. Like we're human beings. Yeah. We also have desires, and it's not at the sacrifice of my children that I'm feeling these feelings. Yeah. And I'm allowed to feel these feelings and try to process them while also respecting my children's boundaries 100%. And helping them process their feelings.
100%.
Like my feelings in this don't trump my child's boundaries.
Right.
I'm just going to sit in my bedroom for a second by myself and like feel this feeling for a minute.
Is the intersection of just a ton of emotion and thought of like, there's trauma involved. There's previous biological parents involved. There's inner turmoil inside of our kids thinking about this. There's turmoil inside of us thinking about what we've missed out on and the stuff that's, that will never happen to us that we want to happen to us. Right. So it was a culmination in like a simple 15-second conversation of like letdown, right? Yeah. It was almost like a letdown, like a deflated balloon of like, you had this reaction 6 months ago. We're 6 months later, and like you say, you've tried, but you can't. You cry every time you think about calling us mom and dad. Which
that brings in a whole other set of emotions, like on the other side of my heart, of like my kids are still really struggling to process.
But we'll get to that in a second. So we're getting there, right? So the immediate conversation in our bedroom was handling our emotions, talking through that out loud, processing those things. Right. We named what was going on. We talked about maybe selfish motivation that went into that, and just our desire can't trump our children's desire in this moment, right? Right. And how we will never make them do something like that or require it from them. And we want to be sensitive to what they're walking through at the same time. Right. And then that brought on the conversation about what must our kids be going through anytime they think about calling us mom and dad, even to their friends outside of our home, to their teachers, to their parents outside this home, referring to us as mom and dad. Think about the inner tension and turmoil that they must be going through when they say those things, right? And so we're putting all of that on the table and talking through that. And every time, I will be honest with you, every single time, our kids and the tension that they're wrestling through will trump our feelings of our selfish feelings for ourselves and the things that we want for ourselves every single time. Every single time. And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We're okay with that. So again, it took a while to process. It took a while to go through it. It took a while to just sit down and talk about the realness of the feelings that we're feeling. Yeah. And we might not even talk to our kids or our oldest daughter about what exactly we were feeling when she said those words to us, because she didn't mean to hurt us.
No,
she wasn't trying to frustrate us. She wasn't trying to get at us. She was just being real and like, hey, this is what when you ask me to do these things, I can't, like, I literally can't do it. And we want to be sensitive to that. Right. So we talked through that. We processed through that. I mean, we still want to be called mom and dad, obviously, but like, we would never force that.
Right.
But I want to get to the back end of it, because we are later in the week from this conversation that happened earlier this week. You wondering where I'm going with this? Your eyes are asking where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Because a couple episodes ago, we talked about calling, and we talked about confirmation of calling.
Yeah.
And we talked about how every time that we've questioned God's calling in this journey, that there has been a confirmation thereafter that has happened so quickly, that has absolutely confirmed the calling that God put on our lives to do this.
Well, because the feelings that night when she dropped that bomb on us, I will tell you that the conversation I had with God was, why would you do this to me? Why would you give me this version of motherhood? Because it pissed me off a little bit. If I'm being frank.
God, I'm pissed.
Not mad at my children. I'm not mad at my children. My anger is not towards children. I'm just pissed that, like, how can this be the version of motherhood that it feels like a more difficult version than just your typical, I gave birth to a child and I'm raising my child.
Yeah.
Feels a little harder than that. Okay. A little less textbooky. Like there's not very good templates for the type of motherhood and fatherhood that we are living out. And then to just like be slapped with this, like, oh, and also like, you might never actually be called mom.
Yeah.
Like, no, you will raise these children and you'll probably never hear them called you mom.
Yeah.
I was pretty pissed at God for that.
Yeah. So that brings about, well, then why in the first place do we do this? Like, why are we here?
That's what
why are we here?
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why are we doing this?
And like I said a couple episodes ago, the confirmation comes after the questioning when you are doing the Lord's will, like when you are living in the calling, like it's right after. So let's set the scene. A couple days later, we get a video emailed to us from our middle daughter, her teacher. And this is a video that they made for their school's chapel.
Yeah.
Now, our middle daughter has struggled the past few years, if we're being honest. She will watch this one day and she'll probably agree. But with connection and with friendship, it seems like her friends kind of reset every 3 to 4 weeks, because the vulnerability it takes to have deep relationship, I think, is a struggle.
It's a relationship struggle.
Yeah. And so, but that also produced in her behaviors and thoughts that were very detrimental to her as a human being.
Yeah, she struggled with just being angry with other people,
struggle with value,
being bitter towards other people, valuing herself, hating herself.
Yes,
like all of these thoughts, which are very common for kids and teens who have gone through what she's gone through.
Right.
Like, so it just produced, I mean, honestly, a lot of the time she was just like miserable to be around. Yeah. And we've told her, this is not anything we haven't told her.
We told her, you're miserable.
We're like, you're kind of miserable to be around sometimes. Like, so she's
she
just,
knew it too.
And she like hated being with herself.
Yeah.
Which is where a lot of it stemmed, is like, I hate myself. I don't even want to be around myself. Why would other people want to be around me?
Right. But we've seen just this year specifically a massive change in her life. Massive change. She is night and day different than who she was last year. She's got friends, like strong friends for the first time. And I think that has a lot to do with her change as well.
Yeah.
God just bringing people in her life who love her, who cherish her, who value her, even when she does things that they don't like just forgiving and just being graceful. And we're thankful for our friends and their parents for raising, just great kids. But we got this video from her teacher. And I'm just sitting there watching it on Wednesday night, and I was away from you, and you said, you got to watch this video. And so I went to a room by myself and I was watching this video. And the video is all about the change that has taken place in her life. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about the place that God has changed her heart, changed her thoughts, changed her actions, and the fact that she's surrendered. That was like the theme that I kept getting from her, is like the amount of stuff in her life that she's just surrendered to God.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing to do. Well, and especially for her.
Yeah. What really took me was her explaining her ongoing struggle. Like, she still struggles with bad thoughts. She still struggles with feeling certain ways. But she said in the video, she's like, every time I find myself thinking this way, she starts praying and asks God to change her thoughts. And I'm like, she's doing it. I'm like, she's taking every thought captive.
Right. And so we're watching this video, and I'm just sitting in this room crying because the amount of change. And I'm thinking about the conversation that we had Monday night to the conversation that we're now having Wednesday night. And it's like, we are just sitting in our room crying, never be calling mom and dad, yada, 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 all the feels of our own self. And then I'm sitting here, and here's the kicker to me. And I texted you this. I'm like, I am watching my daughter reply to these questions and her answer, and saying the truth that you and I have been preaching to her for 5 years every single day of her life.
Yes.
And she is somehow, it has gotten from here to in here and now to out. Like, she is now repeating and saying the stuff, the truth about her life, the truth about her standing in her identity before the Lord, the truth about who Jesus is to her, the truth about how life brings trouble and it's hard, but there's triumph in Christ. Like, she's literally saying these things out loud. And so I'm just sitting there like, I've said that to her. Lainey said that to her. The next line, oh my God. Lainey said that to her last week. Like, I remember when we sat and had these conversations with her, and we've been praying for her for so long to make that the truth for herself.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, wow. And you texted me, and I'm like, and you said, it's the confirmation of call thing. Yeah. It's like, we have that conversation Monday, we're questioning, we're angry, we're going to the Lord and saying why. And then Wednesday, it's like this is why. This is why you're in this position.
It's because this child's entire eternity has been changed.
Her life, like everything, her entire future has been changed because of the work that he's done in her, but the avenue that God chose to use us to be mom and dad to her. And I never felt more of a dad, like a dad, than watching my daughter say those things. Right. Yeah. And so I'm like, freaking title, who cares? Yeah. And call me Matt the rest of your life.
Literally call me like a cuss word the rest of your life.
I don't even care. Yeah. Like, if this is the product, if this is the end result, any blow that you and I take to our just personal life or to our heart or to what we think should be the right way of life for us is worth that outcome, right? That outcome is worth every single minute of it. Every single minute of it. So practically, to end this episode, I don't think that there is a right time to have the mom and dad conversation.
Probably not.
If it happens naturally in your home, man, so be it, but don't be hurt by it.
Yeah.
Don't be hurt by it. And the question, maybe even the lead up to this conversation, is like, if your adopted child never calls you mom or dad, how would you feel? How would you feel? How would that shape your relationship? How would that shape the future and your family that you have together? Because if you let it, it could negatively impact it. But if you see the greater story, the adoption story written into it from the Creator himself, like, you'll understand why these problems exist. It's because of brokenness, broken world. And what I told you on that Monday night, as we're sitting there kind of wallowing in our sorrow of not being called mom and dad, I told you our kids didn't ask for this life.
Right.
They didn't ask for this.
Yep.
This is worst case scenario for them. To be removed from their parents, their biological family, and to be placed in a home with random strangers who they live with for 5 years, who've been their mom and dad for 5 years. But there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. So stay strong, be reminded of the why. It's hard, but process those things. Talk about those things. It's so important to process your feelings, your thoughts, your disappointment, but also ultimately remembering why you're in this calling in the first place.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if you give those things to the Lord and you ask him why, I guarantee you he will give you a confirmation of your call. It happens every
time.
Single time. Every single time. Well,
yeah,
man, we got a little teary-eyed in that episode. That's okay.
I know. Vulnerable talks. This is real life. Like, this is it.
This is it right here.
This is what we're experiencing and what we're processing live.
No fluff, just the realness of it.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you for watching. And if you like content like this, we encourage you to like and to subscribe and to share our stuff with your foster and adoptive friends. This has been Matt
and Lainey.
And we will see you next time on the Unprofessional Parenting Podcast.